Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today's build day 35. Yes, build day 35 on the construction schedule on the pool build in the back of Villa Feliz. This morning we are kind of changing focus from that light blue tile, going back to doing some installation of the original tile that you can see probably over my shoulder in the 5-foot section of the swimming pool. If you watched yesterday's episode, you understand why we are not working with the blue tile, the light blue tile today. You need to go back and watch yesterday's episode. But we're getting that all under control. We're getting back into getting this pool closer to a completion stage. Well, let's go ahead and get today's episode started for the pool build. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, you might have thought that we lost all those bananas 3 weeks ago from the first of 3 typhoons that came through our yard in the backyard here at Villa Feliz. But our gardener kind of propped everything up, so the bananas seem to have been saved and they seem to continue on and maturing. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now, I want to do a special thanks. I want to send a special thanks out to my good friend Art Carlson and the rest of his crew members over on Art Carlson or Art's Code Drone Solutions. He has several channels. I have to remember which ones that I'm actually a guest on from time to time. And speaking of that, I was a guest this morning. As we posted once before, we had an invite to people who would like to check on that channel. It's so nice to be able to be part of somebody else's vlog YouTube channel, and I graciously thank him for inviting me from week to week so that we could talk about things about anything, not just drones. Like today we talked about drones, we talked about 3D printers, we talked about the pool construction back here, we talked a little bit about everything. So anyway, thank you very much, Art. So let's go ahead and get started to see what the guys are doing today and talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. Now, you can probably hear in the background, you probably hear a grinder going on. What our foreman is doing over here, he's trimming some of the tile that goes inside the 5-foot section over here. So I'm not sure where he's putting that, but we'll take a look up here in just a second, what area he is focusing on. So it looks like this morning the prime area of focus is going to be using this tile that we've used for the entire 5-foot section of the swimming pool for the uplift wall that's going to go from the bottom of the swimming pool and bring us over to the 4-foot section of here. So we'll be using the darker blue for the entire wall, as you already see here. And then it'll be for the lift, and it will also be for the floor inside here. So that's what they're going to be working on now. We had a problem yesterday with the tile selection that we had for this wall. It appears that, and I explained this yesterday, that the provider, the company that they bought, sent us the wrong tiles for over here. We had literally 4 different types of tiles. We had 2 variations of the tile we actually wanted, and I'll show you. If I can climb up here without getting injured, as I so often do around here. So we ended up with 2 variations of this type of tile. This has a little darker, lighter, darker. But we had 2 different shades of this specific tile right here. We also had what I showed in yesterday's episode. We had a very dark tile and a very light tile, which were either all very dark or all very light. So we had 4 variations, and I explained that, like I said, it had to do with the supplier just putting inside the bulk of the order, I think whatever he had left inside there, and maybe it was an honest mistake. Let's say it was an honest mistake, and they just looked at the name, but they didn't look at the variations that they had inside there. So we actually had 4 different numbers of different tiles that went in there. So I got a hold of the contractor for the pool company here, and I explained to him, I sent him pictures, and he said he's going to handle that. So either they're going to get the tile, which I like that tile over there. That's the tile that we wanted, but we want 100% of that tile on the wall, not 4 different shades and variations in colors, because it's pretty obvious that they were mismatched. So if he cannot get that one, then we'll look at a different color, maybe a different brand, different company of manufacturer, so that we have on this side here, the shallower section, we have the lighter color, all of the correct one style of tile. So it seems we have a limited crew again today. Yesterday we had a limited crew because they had another job that they were working on. So the crew go between work sites. So what we'll do is we'll kind of monitor these guys today and see what they're going to do. I think what I'll do is I'll set up some time-lapse video like we normally do on a day-to-day basis. We try to do time-lapse and we try to do bird's eye view with the drone. We'll try to get those in today's episode as well. So it's a relaxing Sunday afternoon here right now. So what we'll do is, since the area of focus is really just right on in this area right now, we'll go ahead and set the camera up and we'll do time-lapse video. Well, it is after lunch, and the project after lunch, since most of the tiling is done with the amount of tiling that we have, is working on some of the sidewalk area over here, as well as the support, the rebar support that's going down there. As many of you had mentioned to me, we need to have a little wall there to protect anybody from accidentally slipping through between the bridge and the planter and the coping over here. And that's what we're doing right now. So we're going to have a little wall there that's going to meet the height of the wall and the coping here, and it's going to drop down a little bit lower level than the height of the planter that we have right here. So the way this is going to work, and it's probably be easier if I'm down inside. Let's go down inside the pool and we can see from down there how the design is going to come for that little protectionary area, that little protectionary wall. So there's going to be a wall here that's the same height as where the coping is on the outside. It's going to be equal to that, and it's going to come across here, and it's going to match up below the level of the planter. The planter with the coping is going to come up to about here. So it will be the same level and be part of the design of the coping on the exterior of the wall. So now, normally what you would do if you had thought in advance, now for me, this was an afterthought, so for a safety feature that we didn't think about when we were designing to begin with. Normally if you were designing at the very beginning, you'd have embedded the steel rebar, or the biga they call it here, into the concrete prior to. But it's okay. What we're doing is we're drilling in holes. We'll be drilling a hole over here, somewhere over in this direction too, because this is going to be open here. This is going to allow for water flow from the 5-inch section to continue going over into the 5-foot section for cleaning purposes. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do a wrap up for today. This is the end of the day. It's after 4 o'clock, and we have a lot of tile up on the wall now. This is starting to actually look sort of like, if you were to go up here and go over this way, it's kind of like the inside of a swimming pool right now, an empty swimming pool. And I'm kind of glad it's empty because that means we haven't had rain. So you can see they did the rest of the top section. I believe this was all done this morning. This portion up here, they got us all the way around. And that portion was done yesterday, I believe. And they got the bottom section here, which is going to be lift from here to the 5 foot to the 4 foot section. We're going to select something. We're going to decide whether we're going to use this grout as a rounded edge on here, or if I can find some more of the nice non-slip transitional edge pieces of the tile like I have on the back of the house that we're going to use here. If I can find that somewhere, we'll use something here to define the edge as well so you can see. So they got that done. We were talking today about the solution for completing all this. I think we'll be seeing that done in the next day or so also on both sides, the pedestal support for the bridge. You can see the formwork right here. The formwork is the backside. Remember, there was a big hole here. There was a big hole that you all said, oh, you need to put something there so you don't slip and slide and fall through. Well, we kind of knew that too, and we just saw how obvious it was later on. So we agreed with you that are looking out for us. So right now we have on the other side of this is all concrete, but it's hollow down inside this area right here. They put a piece of form support inside, so this will actually be open in this portion so the water can flow from one side to the other, because we have a return inside the 5 foot section. We'll take a look at this from the top side as well. So as you saw, this was the way they did the top portion here. Underneath here is some formwork that's just going to be, again, the opening that goes between this section and that section over there. And there will be coping. The coping that goes on top of here, the pebble rock, is just going to continue for the edge of the swimming pool. Also, it is going to tee off over and meet up against underneath the coping that's going to be for the palm planter that we have here. All in all, a productive day for such a small team that was here today. I suspect maybe tomorrow we'll have more of the team. I don't know. We're getting to the point where they don't need as many of the people here. Maybe they'll branch them off on some of the other pool projects or not. I don't know. We'll see. Remember, we do this from day to day. Now, one thing you didn't see today in the video, you didn't see we had the whole Poolmate Services pool construction team. They were down here this afternoon because of their concern for that mismatch of the pool tile. So what they did, they came here, they collected all the tile. They're going to go back to their supplier and they're going to try to figure out the best way to get the right type of tiles that we need down here. They were really concerned about it, and I respect them for that. I respect that they're looking out for our interests. We want to make sure that this is a beautiful finish on this pool. So anyway, thank you to the guys who came down here today. We had a big crew down here. It was nice to see them all, that they are so concerned with our happiness. So we're going to close from here. Tomorrow is another day. I believe tomorrow is going to be build day 36, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be build day 36. I keep forgetting what day. The days go by so quick around here. If I'm wrong, I will fix it and post edit. So anyway, for you, if you enjoyed today's episode, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed. You will be subscribed. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time we upload a new video. All three of us. So until such time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.